Joe, you want to give a recap of last session?
Sure.
Go
Let's
for it.
try to remember everything.
As best
Um,
you can.
so let's see here. From what I remember last, we were all gathered up, and the person who was in charge of the village rounded us
Mhm.
all up together, and then Zahn and Lady Ursa were approaching, and they wanted. We were all put in this like hotel or this not hotel.
It was
Sorry, in
the
this like
inn.
The
tavern.
tavern,
Yep.
yep.
Yeah, we were put in the tavern, and so we are kind of going to make our stand there, and we put a spell lock on the door
Yeah.
to keep out people who we didn't want coming in. Um, we did set a trap for Lady Ursa and her band of minions, and that didn't go so well. But the was the mushroom involved in this one, or
No,
was
the
that
danger mushroom was before.
that was before? Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, Lady Ursa approaches the tavern that we're
Mhm.
in, and we all decide that we're gonna like burn it down with her in it. And we made a choice, and we threw the mat or the torch down to burn it down. Um, we did discover how powerful she is by
Mhm.
she is able to remove the lock on the tavern door rather easily.
Yeah.
We fought Zahn and really just tore him a new one.
Yeah,
And
Zahn got the shit kicked out of
yeah, he
him.
did. So after that, we were leaving the village,
Mhm.
and we sort of made a stop, and there was a little bit of dissension among the group, but we did all come together for a decision that we're gonna make our way to Crow's Valley and warn them about
Non the
what may
quiet.
be, yep, about now in the quiet,
Yeah.
and that he's probably making his way that direction, and to possibly even get reinforcements.
Okay. Anything left out? Anybody?
I think we're good. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
that pretty much sums up what happened. Yeah.
All right. So, before
If
we
people
get
didn't like it, they go back and watch the last episode.
there you go. It is on YouTube,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. OG Game Night Boys forward
That's
slash
definitely
go watch.
that's definitely what angry people do. Watch more content.
Yes, exactly. So, before we get into the main story, let's take a step back for a minute and let's go to the Isle of El, where it is night on a day uh, previous to the one that has taken place or that is taking place now with the main group. Uh, it's a clear night sky. It's quiet in the crumbled ruins of Ellsworth's Keep. But inside, in that chamber room, is the one light, and it's the light from the orb. His mangled hand rests on it as Stonewall pulls straps and tightens pieces of broken armor back to his body. Uh, you can see the damage that was done from his battle with Crom. It's the armor is falling to pieces, but with Stonewall's ability to breathe fire, it's been mended together. It's been welded, basically. The only fire that can break through dragon scale is dragon flame. And it's this flame that was used to fix his armor as best that it can be done. With his mangled arm, she lifts it ever so gently. He gasps for just a moment at the pain, but more so from his hand being taken away from the orb. But it's only away for a moment or two as she slips on gauntlets and bracers and other pieces that go up to his shoulder. She rests his hand back down on the orb again before clasping his purple cape onto the back of the armor. He stands fixated on the orb and just stares at it and looks at it for a moment before he looks up to her and he says, "How do I look?" And she comes before him with sadness, not at any events that have taken place to her directly, but upon seeing how he is now, like what he used to be, right? And she looks to him and she kneels before him but doesn't lower her head. She keeps her head raised and she looks to him and she says, "You look just fine, my lord." He gives a weak and wary smile and he says, "Very well. It is time. Take me." She stands and puts an arm through his and walks him out to the door. Ian, your uh, percussionist, your bard, is going.
Valentine.
Yeah, is going with them.
Still alive.
And as you walk, he looks to you and he says, "Valentine, you have been a perfect guest. I applaud you. When most would run, you stayed."
He'll just bow deeply, thinking to himself, it was either that or death.
"I grant you your freedom, young man. Where shall she take you?"
He'll take a deep breath and he'll just say home.
"Home." She shifts into dragon form, puts a wing down. He climbs on board, and she waits for you.
And he'll climb up as well.
Okay, and then she takes off and goes. Moving forward, back to present. Maybe a short time before that, let's go back to the town of Jordan. The rain obviously has left a while ago. There's sparse clouds and things. It's still semi daytime, getting closer to dusk. And outside of the inn stands Lady Ursa. She is alone. However, she is using the magistrate's handkerchief to wipe blood off of her gauntlets. The magistrate is cowering before her, holding the side of his face, and she's using his handkerchief, just kind of going like this. She stands there by herself, and you can hear commotion in the inn behind her. The three Boulay riders are there with her. The ogres sit on top of the Boulays, and all of the bandits, all of Nan's men, the gnolls and the humans, stand patiently and wait, though they have fear in their eyes. She tosses the handkerchief down, and the magistrate looks up for permission to grab it, and she nods, and he takes it quickly and tucks it away. And at that time, the door swings open, and Zahn comes out. Joe?
All right. As Zahn steps out, he is wiping blood from his hands as well.
His bare hands or gauntleted hands?
His bare hands.
Okay.
He'll wipe them clean, set the towel down, go over to a water bowl to kind of finish up. And
Lady Ursa comes up to you and she says, "Well, did he speak?"
yes, he did
And what did he say?
many important things.
I assume so.
It was very enlightening for both of us.
Does this help Nan's quest, my dear Zahn?
Oh, yes. Zahn will. Oh, yes. Nan will rule this area. This is a great day, my Lady Ursa. This is a great day.
Then tell me, Zahn, what is our next approach?
We must head to a place called Crow's Valley. The troop is heading that way. I suggest that we keep them moving. A prey that stops and rests can collect strength. We need
That
to
is
pursue
true.
them like hungry animals. Keep them running and tired and weak. They'll fall.
Keep the rabbit searching for its home,
Oh,
so to
yes.
speak.
Yes.
Very well, Zahn. Give the order. Give the
The order is
party
given.
no quarter.
The order is given.
She
He will
turns.
then excuse
Oh,
himself.
okay. She turns and looks to one of the Boulay riders and nods, and he lets out a war howl. And several of the bandits, gnolls and humans together, form behind him, and they take off in the direction that you guys had gone to. And we'll leave that there and go back to the party. So, where we last left you, you guys had determined that you were going to make your way west to Crow's Valley. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Lawrence, let's go ahead and start with you.
Yeah. All right. So, what are we resting like just like on like a hill, right? If I
So,
remember
it
correctly.
would be more like in a forested area, not
Okay.
necessarily any hills. It's flat at the moment, but you know the further along you get, the more elevated it will become.
Hmm. Okay. So I think the general plan is to meet up with my family's forces uh, near the fort at Crow's Valley, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because
then,
we had agreed to try to get reinforcements to take care of
mhm,
the group we basically just left behind.
yeah. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call my hawk.
Yeah. It's a female, right?
Yeah, I have her name written down somewhere, but I cannot remember off the top of my
That's
head.
that's fine. She's circling. You make the call, and she comes down.
Okay. I will write a letter to. I don't even know who would be manning the fort. Maybe
You,
my aunt. I think in lore.
I'll leave it up to you. If you
Yeah,
want it to be your aunt, that's fine.
I think it would be. I'll. I
Okay.
think. Yeah. I'll write a letter to her, and I'll be like, prepare for our arrival. There are barbarian forces deep within our own territory. I expect at least some sort of uh, vanguard force ready to be deployed once I get there. Um, and I'll be like, there's a second letter forwarded to this. There's a second letter included in the satchel forwarded to the main Strabo fort, which I don't know if I've ever actually named what like
Yeah.
my family seat of power is. We can come up with that later.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like Grendis is the name of the keep that Grendel held.
but that's the Minotaurs now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as
Um,
far as yours go, there is no name.
I would actually. So the plan is first letter goes to the border fort in Crow's Valley.
Hmm.
Um, from there, I want them to send out a second letter to the main uh, keep, right?
Hmm.
And that will basically
Just call it Strabo Keep.
yeah, for now, yeah.
Yeah.
Send to main Strabo keep and basically be like send down a as much as you can spare. Seems like there's been a breach in the wall, and we need to contain this as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Um, and then on top of that, I would want a third letter to then get sent to uh, the to Browning
Okay.
to inform them what's going on. Like, hey, if you can send anyone, please do. And then one last letter gets sent to Grendis. I want like the Minotaur to be like, hey, there's this force down here explicitly hunting Minotaur in the area.
Okay.
Uh, we would like to hold a meeting with you to discuss some sort of counteroffensive, or if you can spare anyone, be
Okay.
appreciated. Yeah.
All right, so you're in the middle of writing those. Baruch,
Yeah.
what would you be doing? You guys are taking your rest at this moment.
At this point, Baruch would he'd be first thing he'd do is he'd adjust the bag the backpack he's wearing, because where he's
Mhm.
got the skeleton that popped out of it, he's
Mhm.
adjusting it to where the skeleton can actually pop in and out like a Jack in the Box a little easier.
Okay.
After that, he's going to do some. He's still slightly aggravated. He's had a little time to cool off about the whole incident with the village,
Mhm.
but he'd be doing weapon checks and spell prep as best as he can, making
Okay.
sure that helping those people that need it to get the gear easier for travel,
Mhm.
because
Okay.
he knows that everybody's back to being on foot now. I mean, he's
Yeah.
used to this fact, but several of the people, especially the smaller folk, might not be used to it.
Right. Okay, so you're in preparations right now.
Yeah, at this point he'd also have thrown his hood back up and to cover his face in the cowl again.
Got it. Rohan, what about you?
Probably after the battle and after everything, he's probably just gonna say some warrior prayers to Fenris
Okay. All right.
to
Baruch,
prepare
you
himself for
oh,
what's coming.
okay. Baruch, you can hear that. You know Fenrius is Drago's companion, right? The large giant wolf thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll listen to the prayer. He'll slow down a little bit and listen to the prayers, and just kind of silently say a few words to Drago himself
Okay.
about
Okay.
him keeping watch on this area, because he knows that this is becoming a hotbed for war right now.
So, Baruch and Rohan, as you two try to pray to yourselves, the both of you can hear each other's prayers. And that builds, I would imagine, a little bit more respect between the two of you. Number one, Baruch, you're praying to Drago. Number two, Joe, Rohan, you're praying to Fenris. They're both intertwined, they're both aligned, so you guys aren't too dissimilar as you may have thought. Koch and Edelbrim, what about you guys? What are you doing?
Probably foraging.
Okay.
I'm actually going to be. I mean, I could be foraging with him,
Hmm.
but I'd also like to be preparing a couple of spells myself.
Okay.
I'm going to do specifically this one here.
What is this? Spell
It's
glyph? You'll have to go up just a little bit.
uh,
Or no, hang on. I can do it on my end.
Oh, you're doing glyph of warding.
yeah. So the glyph of warding. I'm going to take a mushroom or two.
Uh-huh.
However many you'll let me make in this time period.
Let's roll a d4. What does that say? It says 2. You can have 2.
Okay. I'm
And
going
you're
to take
doing it at higher level?
just level 3.
Level 3. Got it.
Um, I'm creating acid spells. But I'm putting the glyph of warding on mushrooms.
So 2 mushrooms. All right. That'll take a little bit of time. So that's what you're doing. Koch, are you in your humanoid form or are you still as an elk?
Probably humanoid for the time being.
Okay. And Edelbrim, I imagine you're resting on his back then while all this is going on, or are you walking beside him?
If we're foraging, I'll be walking beside him.
Okay, fair enough. And finally, let's go to Voldaceris. During all of this, you can see Koch and Edelbrim off to one side, Baruch and Rohan near each other to another, and Lawrence kind of off by himself writing out letters. What is Voldaceris doing through all of this?
Voltasaurus is taking in his surroundings. He's
Okay.
observing, very quiet, gathering himself as well as his surroundings, but still always looking for that little bit of shadow, always looking for that little bit of that little bit of place where he's unnoticed.
As you look, the shadows in the tree, like in the forested area where you're at, like there's trees all around you, pine trees mostly, some oak, some maple, things like that. But the shadows just look a little longer and a little darker. Normally, that wouldn't bother you, but for one instance or another, that just gives you the slightest twinge of maybe fear, anxiety, a little bit of stress, and you can hear that voice in the back of your head, uh, and and it says you could just kill them all and turn yourself in. I'm sure the lady and the sword will take you as you are.
Just stop this. Why me?
Why not you? If not you, then who else? Who do you recommend? The small one?
I recommend no one to carry this burden.
How about the brute? Or maybe the ugly one? Or how
Which
about
one's
the
the ugly one?
or how about the pompous human? I could take him.
I have you under control.
Do you know?
It's best you stay with me.
For the time being. However, I recommend you heed my words. I need you as much as you need me.
We'll see about that.
It's not a matter of seeing. You realize you're not going to get much rest, right? They're coming after you. That's happening.
My people need little rest.
You may not need much, but they do. And he forces your finger to point at them, the party, the group.
Baldessaris grabs his hand and pulls it down and clenches that fist real tight.
He lets out a small chuckle. Are you afraid?
There are times, yes, when I tend to let my guard down, where I do not expect you, and you somehow find your way through.
When are
But
you?
like I said, I am in control here.
I understand, Master. If I may ask a pertinent question,
If I said no,
the illusion of you being in control is enough amusement for me at the moment. But I'll ask anyways. When are you going to tell them? When are you going to stop hiding? They have the right to know. You can't keep these secrets forever. Lawrence already distrusts you, Baruch even less. The barbarian, he trusts no one anyways. Koch knows, but
this is
he
something that
can't.
I'm not unused to. No one trusts my people.
And there's good reason for that.
Is this
'Cause
why you chose me?
you're a vile, dirty underling. That's exactly what you are. You live under the stones. You know no
I am only what
sunlight.
books say I am.
Have you proven those books wrong yet? Let me answer that for you. I don't think you have. And let's not forget the beads, shall we, good sir? They'll find those eventually too, and they'll take them from you unless you tell them, unless you let them know. They have the right, they deserve it. They deserve trust from you. They deserve honesty. And you refuse to give it.
Those beads were left to me. And
Were they
yes,
now?
I know that they have meaning, but those beads were left to me. They are my secret. They are mine to hold.
Not for much longer. And the voice fades back. Back to the group at hand. Back to the party. So, Lawrence, you've gotten your letters written. Your falcon, you've put them in the the little container. She has taken off, and she is now on her way due west. It's starting to get darker now. You guys are either going to have to set up camp or move. Either way, some kind of light's going to have to come on for y'all to see, or at least you, Lawrence.
What could I make a survival check to see what the phase of the moon is going to be?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool. 18.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm going to roll a four-sider over here.
Okay.
So it is 3/4.
Full or empty?
Full. 3/4
Okay,
full.
gotcha. Yeah, duh.
So,
Yeah.
so it's a what is it? A waning moon?
A waning gibbous. Joe, you would know Werewolf the Apocalypse, good sir.
Yeah, that's a waning gibbous. It's getting full. So in the Werewolf the Apocalypse, it means that those following that moon phase are at a higher chance for frenzy.
There you go. All right. So yeah, 3/4 full.
Gotcha. Okay.
The stars are bright. There's no clouds. Whatever rain clouds were there are long since gone.
Right.
It is a clear night. It will be a clear night.
Okay, cool. Then
You've got
I'll
probably another 45 minutes before complete darkness.
I'll turn to the group and I'll say our best bet is to move at night. We camp during the day, using tree cover, caves if we can find it, ruins even better. If nothing else, we scatter. No fires. Nothing that can get the group to pinpoint our location. And then at night we move until we reach the fort.
Baruch will look at Lawrence and he'll say, "Are you okay with seeing in the darkness?"
I will figure it out, and I'll relay like the moon is getting brighter. I should be fine for the next couple of days.
Baruch will actually reach into his pouch, or he'll pull out a pouch that has torch handles sticking downside into the pouch,
Mm-hmm.
and he will actually, when he opens the pouch, you'll see color come out, but it's not the color of a standard color of flame. He'll actually pull one out that'd be like a greenish flame, and he'd offer it to Lawrence, and he'll say, "This is not something they'd be looking for in the forest. Not this color, anyways."
Rohan, what would a green flame look like to you?
It's just a plain green flame. That's it.
Yeah, the colors that are coming out of the bag at the moment, you see green, blue swirls, and then every now and again you'll see this purplish flame, violet style flame that'll lick up or that'll flash up between there as well.
Rohan would probably think it's fairies.
Okay. Lawrence, are you going to take that?
He'll look at it and kind of like chew the inside of his mouth,
Yeah.
and he'll, kind of slowly grabbing. It's like I'll use it only reluctantly, only when we need it.
He'll look to you and say, "Just remember, it produces no heat, and if you want to douse it, cover it with anything. It will not extinguish."
Okay. He tucks it.
Okay.
I'll turn to the rest of the group. I was like, Does that plan still sound good with everyone else? Any
Koch
contentions?
is going to cast a spell.
No.
What spell?
He's it's gonna be a fun one.
Okay. Hang on, I gotta go take a peek at
Ooh.
that.
Conjure animals.
Conjure animals. You summon fey spirits that take the form of beasts and appear in unoccupied spaces that you can see within range. So choose one of the following options. Um, one beast of challenge rating 2 or lower. What are you doing? 1, 2, 4, 8, or what?
I mean, how many people we got?
Right now,
Mm-hmm.
I guess 6, technically 7.
yeah, 7 with Nick's character, who surprisingly has kept his distance up in the trees.
Mhm.
He's keeping his eyes open for everybody.
Fine, so I'll do 8 elk.
8 elk. Okay. So, Mason, I'll give you carte blanche to describe how this comes about and how they go to everybody.
So after Lawrence says, like, does this plan work for everyone? Koch will just kind of go over to the side and he's gonna yell like bestially.
So
Which I'm
call it
sure Lawrence
the
has.
other boy moves.
Yeah, it's the great
Can we get an
Gaga
example?
moose.
Can we get an
Um,
example?
not currently.
Make it go. Wah!
Yeah, sure. I would if there was not people asleep here.
Mhm.
But he's gonna wait a minute, and then out of the forest you'll see like Harry Potter with the little Patronus.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, but like elk as they appeared, like kind of bounding out of the forest.
Okay.
And he'll greet each one and kind of like nuzzle them for a second, and then each one he'll take to a different member.
Okay. Each of you, Koch is bringing an elk to. Now, what do these creatures do, Mason?
Whenever I tell them to.
Well, I get that, but I mean, they are real creatures. They can attack and they can defend, correct?
Yeah, they're real creatures. They can attack and defend. They have a speed of 50 feet.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to move with speed, and plus, they're looking for footprints.
Ah, so these are mounts for everybody.
They are mounts.
Okay. Guys?
Okay, cool. Sounds like we got some coming together.
Voldasaris can use a spell as a cantrip called Dancing Lights that basically like hovering little lights that might look like fairies and can join as one to make a humanoid figure if he wants.
Okay. What do you want to do with that?
Uh, if needed, I mean, it sounds like we got quite a bit of light here if we need it,
Yeah, with
and figures to distract. So I
okay.
don't know if I would need to use it, but if
Well,
needed, it's
okay.
there.
Hold it at bay. All right.
Okay, so these Baruch's gonna look and say, "All right, these are our mounts." And
Koch? Are you
He'll
saying
nod.
that to Koch? Okay.
yeah, I'm looking to Koch, and I'm gonna say these are our mounts.
He'll nod.
All right. He'll the last thing he'll do is he will pull a crossbow bolt out, and he's going to cast light on the tip of the bolt,
Mhm.
and he's going to load it into his crossbow and say, "All right, as soon as we leave, I'm firing this off in a direction." But
Edelbrim and Rohan, give me a perception check, please.
I got an 8.
All right, Joe, go for it.
I got a 22.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be enjoying this Fey elk. Yep.
Joe, you hear it first. It's like a low rumble. And then you can, like, the light hasn't faded completely, but you turn around and you can see movement behind you.
Okay. Rohan will draw his sword and take a immediate defensive position and tell everyone to be quiet. And he will
Everyone?
listen intently to the forest.
Now be quiet.
Okay. The rumble is there. It's getting a little louder. It sounds off in the distance, though. And the movement is going real slow, like it's almost in your peripheral, Joe. Everybody else can roll perception now too, but like you almost have to look away to see whatever it is out there moving.
And Rohan will be
Lawrence,
moving
good.
his head back and forth.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Ian, you are
You are
no
entranced by that elk.
You're lost in this elk's eyes.
such a pretty elk. Everybody else is good. So anybody with infravision can automatically see. Lawrence, you kind of have to do what Rohan does. It's like your peripheral a little bit
Mm-hmm.
to see him move. But everybody else, you can see about 10 figures moving. They're kind of spread out and they're back a little bit. But with the rumble, what it is, and then this thing comes out of the ground and has a rider attached to it. And when it comes out of the ground, it sounds like this loud crack of thunder. Like it pushes up, destroys one of these trees that it pushed through before it lands on the ground.
How big is this thing?
With infravision, it doesn't just give off body heat, right? You can specifically see what these are, correct?
Yeah, they seem
Yeah.
like black and white.
Okay,
Like
so it is about 6 human bandits, 4 gnolls, and 1 boule with an ogre on top.
How the heck is he riding that thing underground? That's going through my head right now.
But you hear this loud crack of thunder, almost, is what it sounds like, as it comes out and obliterates that tree with its beak.
I'm going to reach over and put my hand on Rohan's shoulder, and I say, "We need to move now."
I'm gonna look at him and say, "Is it the Krogan?"
It's a boulet and a group of pursuers. We need to get out of here.
So Koch
Yes,
is going
yes.
to he's going to
Okay,
motion
okay.
for everybody to stay still.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Rohan, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
We cannot stay here. If it's the Krogan that's here, we must go now.
Koch is he's gonna hold you there for a second, and then he's gonna turn and start running across the face of where they're looking, flanked by
Mhm.
2 of the elk.
Flanked by 2 of them?
Yeah.
Which 2? Because there's people on those elk.
Well, we had an extra.
Oh, okay, got it. So that's 1
And
extra.
Edelbrim is
And then mine.
Edelbrim is small enough that he can
He
can
can
ride
definitely
with
Ride
someone.
you. Yeah. I figured that's what he was going to do anyways, was ride you. Dun-dun-dun. But anyways, okay, so you have those 2 unmounted elk plus you and Edelbrim. You guys are taking off to the right.
So what I'm doing is I'm cutting across where they'll see us and not the
Mhm.
main group.
Okay. What about the main group? What are you guys going to do?
Head in the direction that
Yeah.
you need to go.
Yeah, I say
Yeah.
we just start moving.
Yeah, at this point, we need to start moving.
Okay.
I'm
So,
gonna I'm gonna make this a little easier for him, Tim, since this is a little darker. But
mhm,
I'm gonna pull my lantern off, my cover off my lantern,
yeah.
and I'm gonna just be holding it and just yelling, kind of like the not the British are coming, but the orc are coming.
The orc are coming. The orc are coming. Okay. As the light comes off of the lantern,
It's
you
green, by the way. Mine is also green.
got it. So Koch, Edelbrim, the two elk, you guys take off. As soon as you move, you can hear crossbow bolts hitting trees as you guys are running. Lawrence, you are in command of this group. Are you taking off?
Yeah, yeah, no, we're pushing off.
All right. Off you go. Edelbrim, perception one more time, please.
Oh, I'm blind as a bat.
Maybe
Uh,
not.
quick question: how far away is the group of
Hey,
pursuers we have?
I have 18, by the way.
They're about 60 feet away.
60 feet.
Yeah. So
Do not do anything dumb.
Edelbrim, this is what you see. The main group takes off, right? You guys split off to this way. What you see is that Boulay go underground, and then the other 10 head toward the main group.
Guys, don't do anything stupid. You are faster than they are.
You can feel the ground start to rumble. Rohan, you can hear it again. Everybody else can now, but it's louder.
All right, I am going to tell everybody this forest belongs to the Krogan. We have to go now, or there won't be any of us left. We need to go. I'll explain later. Let's go.
Can I make a history check on what the fuck he means by Krogan?
Go for it. Need a high one, though. 8. That'll work.
20.
So, the Krogan is this is beyond myth and legend, right? This is a story. No, Gareth.
I'm just thinking it's some big monster at this point.
This is a story that in your tribe, Lawrence, the
Mhm.
oldest of old folk tell. Like it sounds like insane rambling, but you've only heard this maybe once or twice in your entire life. And the way that Rohan is acting is almost similar in the sense of the story that you can remember that these oldest elders have said. And basically, what the story, like the pieces that you can remember, is back when the world was created, when Koroks created the world and created all living things. Before that, once the world was created, freshly formed, he created one perfect being. And that was the Krogan, this large, white, armless, and legless serpent with wings. Its head was that of a dragon, so technically the first of the dragons, but its mane, so to speak, is very wide, very long and slender, uh, and its sole purpose is to defend the planet. It does nothing else but that. Unless the entire planet is in peril, it sleeps, it slumbers. But every so often, it comes out. And when it does, anything that stands in its way is destroyed. So it can return balance to the world. Zarasis, you already know. You know Zarasis exists. The stories that you've heard and the documents in history that you've read, but you've never read or heard anything like this except from elders in your tribe. And that's the best that you can remember.
Hmm. Interesting.
Hey, Tim, I have a question.
Go for it.
Is that a story that Ember Soul would have told me?
Roll history.
I'm not good in history. 13.
That's good enough, but no, he never told this story to you.
I was just curious because he's old enough that I figured he might know. So I was just curious if he would have said something.
You would think so. But nope, he never spoke a word of this to you. Lawrence, like I said, you've only heard it twice in your entire life, and it's like you're grasping at memories to remember the pieces that you do.
Interesting. I'll just keep moving on, not really understanding the prevalent the reasoning behind
All right, so
that, but yeah.
let's get some initiative going, guys.
Hey Tim.
Hey, what?
Well, I guess I can do it during initiative. What I'm going to do is, as we take off.
Let's do initiative first.
Okay.
Let's get
That's
that done.
8 for me.
Okay. So, Ian, you are above me.
13.
So, who's got Gareth? You're first at 17. Who else are we missing?
Mason.
And Ace, right?
Yeah, Ace at this point.
Okay. Ace, go ahead and roll initiative for me. So, right now, we are looking at Gareth first. And then Mason and Sean re-roll again.
Ooh.
Okay, so
No,
then
no,
it'll
no.
be Sean, then Mason. Ace
No, we're
got
missing somebody here.
4.
There we go.
So
With
after
+3. I got a 4 with +3.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Joe,
Alright.
you're at a 7. Joe, you and I roll again.
You're still trying to figure out what the Krogan is.
So Gareth, Sean, Mason, then Ian, then Joe. I got a 9. Then Joe. Then me. Then Ace. Is that right?
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're good. All right, Gareth, you're up, man. What are you doing?
Okay, so the boule is dived back underground.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I'm
You
going to do
can't
is
see it.
can't see it. Yeah, that I can't do anything about that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get the group moving, and as soon as we
You
start
guys are already going.
already going, all right.
Yeah.
Koch and Edelbrim went off to the, you said right?
Yeah, to your right, they took off.
All right. What I'm going to do as soon as we get moving, I'm going to take my hand off the tip of that crossbow bolt where I've got it loaded into the crossbow. I'm aiming off to our left, and
Okay.
I'm firing it off in that direction
Okay.
to where it's about head height, and I'm going to try to get it as clear and long a shot as I can get.
Sure. Let's go ahead and get some percentage going. So I will call below. Below, they stay with you. Above, some of them will split off.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
Oh, 51. Come on.
Mhm.
That's
I'm
totally
trying to get the group.
lame.
I'm trying to get the pursuing party to scatter into smaller groups.
So 3 of the humans have split off.
Yeah, they're going to have fun chasing that one.
In that direction. They've split. But you've got 4 gnolls and 3 humans chasing after you.
All right. As a bonus action, I'm going to reload that crossbow.
Fair enough. Sean, you're up.
Oh, I mean, I think I'm just guiding the rest of the group further and further into the reaches. You know, like
Okay.
just getting away. As we're riding, I'll try to like pull up beside like Baroque as we're like sort of like ducking through the trees, and I'll be sure to lay it on thick. I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Whole town full of people stand and fight. 10 people though, we run here. We're all in agreement. We run here, right?
I'm going to look at Lawrence and say, hey, I am more than happy to turn this elk around. Do you want me to turn this elk around? I'll do it.
No, you're not.
I'm
That
gonna-
elk
I'm
is running.
I'm going to finish locking
You're
that
not in
crossbow
control.
bolt.
You're not in control of this elk.
I'm going to hold it straight up, and I'm going to just like start aiming backwards. Come on, you want to do this? Come on, let's do this.
Yeah. I'm actually also going to use a bonus action. I am going to mark the boule.
Okay. Well, you can't see it. It's underground.
Oh, did it duck underground? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
is there like a Could I make like a insight check to see if there's like a particularly nasty one in that group of people back there, like a leader type?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Go ahead.
The one that was on the boule.
Well, yeah.
Damn, no.
No, you have no fucking clue.
Okay. Well, I'll usually use a bonus action to mark a random. I'll mark like a random knoll. Right? There's
Yeah.
knolls in this group that are not riding boules, right?
Well, yeah. All the gnolls and the humans are on foot.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and they are falling behind.
Oh,
Mason.
Rapidly.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot. Never mind.
Yeah. Mason, you're up.
Are any of them chasing my little group?
No, none of the gnolls or humans are chasing you. The boule went underground.
Can I tell if it's following us or the main group?
It's coming for you.
Okay, cool. We're gonna run like a bat out of hell.
Okay. So that's what you're doing. That's your action.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ian.
I'm going to continue to hold on to Koch, but I'm going to ready a throw action.
Okay. Now
So-
you can see the ground where the boule is crumpling up from underneath, so you know it's making a beeline straight for you.
Right. And as soon as it jumps, if it comes like above,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to throw something at it.
Okay, Joe, your action. You just riding, or what are you doing?
Yep. I'm moving as fast as I can. Telling everybody that the Krogan is coming. We got to get out of here. Praying to Fenrius that we make it out.
Okay. All right. Now it's my turn. So the bandits on foot are fast falling behind. They are, however, going to take shots with their longbows and crossbows at you guys. You are within range. So let's see here. Let's go with Lawrence. What's your armor class?
My armor class is 17.
God almighty. Okay. With a +3? Nope. Air bolt goes flying by. Rohan, armor class.
13.
13. 5. Nope. Another one goes flying by. Voldasaris, armor class.
13.
13. Oh,
I'm the
that
one that
one.
can see it. Yep.
That one got you. So, crossbow bolt, as you're riding, sticks you right in the arm. Let's see here. 1d8 + 1. Take 2. Okay. Who else is there? Baruch, armor class, please.
Current armor class is 16.
Okay. So we get a +3 to hit. Nah, just barely. You felt that whiz right by your face.
And he's going to snarl a little bit at that, and he's going to start taking aim at the one, because he's turning around backwards, and he's taking aim at the one that he saw fire that last shot.
Now, with the boule, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but it has deadly leap. So if it jumps at least 15 feet as part of its movement, which it's going to do, right? It can use this action and land on its feet in a space that contains one or more creatures, which it will, with Koch, Edelbrim, and the elk. Okay?
Now, I
It
hate
has to
be a
emerge,
stick-
doesn't it?
I was gonna say
Yeah.
I hate to be a stickler about this, Tim.
No, that's why I'm asking. Tell me if
What's-
I'm wrong or not.
What's the boulet's burrow speed?
40 feet.
Okay, so
You're
as
gonna
a
be out-
giant
You're going to
elk,
be outpacing.
I run 60 feet.
So it won't be able to catch up to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I would say this. I think of it dashed as its action,
Mhm.
because then it would move 80 feet.
Can you
And then
dash while burrowing though?
Yes,
I believe so. Yeah. So like it
because
couldn't
your
attack.
burrow basically replaces your movement. So
Yeah.
if you
Fair enough.
dash, you're
So here, let me explain what I want to do. So
Mhm.
like if this is what needs to be done, it will dash as it burrows to come through the ground to land where you guys are.
I feel like that's a good compromise, right? I feel
that's
like
fair.
that's pretty narratively satisfying. No attack, but it does get the pounce thing.
Well, it does
Yeah.
deal damage.
When the
Yeah.
hell did we enter a Tremors movie?
Ah.
The minute that boulets were introduced into
Okay.
D&D, which is long
Okay.
time ago.
I blame
I
Sean.
do have my reaction.
Well, that's fine. We'll do this first. So, as you're moving, you can feel the ground tremble underneath you, and this boule bursts out of the ground. Dirt, debris goes everywhere. It's this massive creature. And for those of you watching, it will be right down at the bottom so you can see exactly what this thing looks like. Just comes out of the ground. Edelbrim, you've never been this close to one before. And this thing is huge. It looks like a land shark. And it comes and lands right on top of you. So, what you guys need to do is you need to save on a DC of 16 or dexterity 16.
Do I not? Because I said I was going to ready an action.
Well,
For
this
when-
happens first because it's my action.
So you said Dex or Strength?
Dex or strength, whichever you choose.
Okay, so my Strength is +4 to that roll, or my Dex is a +3. So either way, it is.
So you got to do DC 16 to save.
So he saves either way.
Okay, so Mason, you saved. Edelbrim.
Ah,
5 negative.
Technically, he's riding on Mason. So
yeah, how does that
how
work?
does that work?
So
There's no official rules for that.
I would say
It's
it hits
discretion.
like narratively, it probably clips Ian more than it
So
clips me.
let's do this then. Ian, call high or low.
I will call high.
You're going to
Son of a
take full
bitch.
damage, buddy.
So basically, you get hit
So-
off of.
So
Mason.
as it hits, it doesn't knock you prone, Mason. Edelbrim, you're holding on for dear life at this point. Like it knocks you off of his back, and I will let you roll a dex check to see if you can grab an antler. Go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you're flying off.
It was a dex save, right? Is that what I had to roll?
Well, you did the dexterity save on damage. Now I'm letting you do a dex check at 15 or better to see if you can grab an antler so you don't go flying off. Now you're gone.
Nope.
So
We
yeah.
have officially entered into dwarf tossing, ladies and gentlemen.
So this creature, this beast, lands right on you. It pushes you, Koch. But Edelbrim, you get hit hard and fly off of Koch's back. Now I'm gonna roll damage, and Mason, you'll take half, and Ian, you will take full. Okay. So let's see here. So this is bludgeoning first. +4, so that's 16.
Okay.
Take 6. Ian takes 16 full, and then as it comes down, its massive claw rakes across.
So do I take half
you.
that?
Yeah, you take half. Half is 16, so you take 8.
Okay.
And then this is slashing 19. So 16 plus 19, 20, 34, right? 34 damage, Ian, right now. And half of that would be 17, Mason.
I got it.
Okay. Ian, does that take you all the way down?
I am at 11.
That hurt. You get hit. You get bashed, you get slashed, you fly off of Koch's back and roll. You are bloodied and bruised. And Koch, you got pushed about 5 feet off to the side.
So,
All
a real
right.
quick question.
Okay. Edelbrim, you can have your reaction.
Well, because during the initiative, when it was my turn, I said I was going to ready an action
Right, I got that.
for when something did happen.
Mm-hmm.
So my action was going to be like when that brulee burst out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to throw something at it.
Well, wouldn't the Boulet's action go through first and then you have the reaction?
Uh, it depends. I mean, like it doesn't matter either way. Like I feel like reasonably, like you can throw something still.
You can do your reaction now.
It's not really going to matter that much at this point.
Well, whatever the damage is that's going to do it to it wouldn't have mattered then either because it wouldn't have altered its trajectory. It has still landed.
I guess not. Well, I guess I will. As my thing, I'll cast Cure Wounds then.
Okay. Mason, you rolled wisdom. What's that for?
Concentration.
Okay. To stay in your form?
No, to keep the elk alive.
Got it. Okay.
That would
Everyone
suck. All
else.
the mouths disappear.
Now, the thing you notice, Ace, and I'll get to you in just a moment. The thing that you notice, Edelbrim, is that even though this beast has come through the ground and it landed, it's about 5 or so, maybe 10 feet away from you. It's not pursuing. It's just standing there, and it's looking at you. Its mouth is slightly open. Drool is coming out. It's breathing heavy. You can hear this growl coming from deep inside it, but it is not pursuing for the kill. Would you roll that for?
Oh, that was
to
Cure
heal.
Wounds.
Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
And then, real quick, the it says, oh crap, not that. Don't do that. It says that it's plus my spellcasting ability modifier.
Mm-hmm.
That is because I'm a wisdom. That's just whatever my wisdom is, right?
Right.
Yeah, your wisdom bonus.
Yeah, I believe so.
I get 9 back then.
Perfect. All right. Voldasaris, your turn.
How close am I to this thing?
So they are off over to the side. You are with the main party. You guys are heading west. They have in turn started heading north. They're leading the Boulay away.
Yes, dear.
What are you gonna do? Stay with the party or go over and try and help Koch and Edelbrin?
I'm guessing I'm staying with the main party.
Okay. All right. So now it is back to Baruch.
All right. So because I turned backwards, I watched this whole encounter, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You saw the whole thing.
I'm going to look to Lawrence and I'm going to say, do you want me to save them or are we leaving them?
They're gonna get torn apart if we don't intervene.
Leave them. It's
You didn't
gonna
hear
be
that
great.
from Mason.
You hear it from the elk.
I hear that "Wah," again. All right. I'm going to kind of cock my head for just a split second. I'm going to say, is that an order?
Yes.
At that point, I'm going to grab the elk's horn as a rein. I'm going to wheel him around. And
Not
I'm going to
happening.
This up.
Mason, you're in control of the elk. Is he
Yeah,
going to
they're
be
going.
able? No matter how hard you pull on this elk, it continues west.
How far away are they?
Far enough that if you jumped off this elk, it would take you several turns to get to them. Plus, you've got the people on foot.
I say we focus on killing the people on foot and then rendezvous to help them with the boulet.
I'll look to the elk when it doesn't respond, and then look to Lawrence and say, "We're stuck on this train." I'm going to aim back towards the guy that shot at me, and I'm going to thumb my weapon. I'm activating. Where is it? Blessing of the Forge to give my crossbow a +1.
Okay.
All right, and then I'm gonna, as I'm aiming at the guy, I'm gonna say over my shoulder, "Hey, Bones, give us a hand," and have my skeleton pop up and ready his bow to fire as well.
Fair enough. All right. You shooting at a human or a gnoll?
Whichever one fired at me.
A human.
A human?
Yeah, armor class 14.
Okay, here, let me move this over so I can actually see what I'm doing here. All right. Now remember, this is a +1 onto this roll. So 14.
Okay, so that's a hit.
And so that would be a 5-shot, because I don't think that increases the...
Is that 5 damage?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, because that does not increase the damage to the crossbow; it just increases my ability to hit.
Okay.
It makes it a +1 magical weapon.
Well, you hit him, by God, and he felt it. He kind of jerks back like that. Son
All
of
right.
a bitch.
And then I'm commanding my skeleton to target the same one.
Okay. Armor class 4.
He has a short bow ranged weapon attack +4 to hit.
Go for it.
So let me switch to. I'll roll a d20 and add 4 to it.
Yeah, that's a hit.
It's a 20. It's an unnatural 20. His damage is 1d6 +2. So
What do you got?
1d6 +2, 4 damage.
4. All right. By God, he just got hit with 2 arrows. That dude went down, but he's not dead.
One crossbow bolt and followed by quick succession with an arrow. Thup, thup.
Is that your action? That all you can do?
I believe that's all I'm going to do at the time.
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on. Sean.
If I leap off this elk, could I reach one of the pursuers?
Oh, bonus action reload. There you go.
There you go. It would take half a turn for them to catch up to you.
So,
Well,
like,
no. Mason, how fast are these elk running? 60 feet around?
Yeah, well,
So their
normal
is
movement
30.
is 60.
Mm-hmm. Are
So
they dashing?
if they're not taking any other actions, then yeah.
They're
So
dashing?
they're moving 120 feet.
Yeah. So it would take a couple of rounds for them to catch up, or a couple of rounds for you to get to them. The distance between you and them is great, and the distance between you and Koch is greater.
Baruch will look over, just kind of side eye Lawrence to see what he's going to do.
He's contemplating.
I was trying to think. Yeah, they're gonna die to the boulet if we don't stop them. Fuck it, I'm leaping off the damn thing.
Off he goes.
And
he jumps mounts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I tuck and roll after him?
On your turn, you can.
Oh, shit.
Off you go, Sean. Do you
All
get
right.
any other actions?
Yeah. So I'll use my action like dash.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Trying
can
to
at
stick
least.
the landing and run it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, okay, no.
Roll dexterity. Fuck it. See what happens.
Sure. I'll use a dex saving throw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fuck no.
You do the Star Wars one where you jump off and smack straight into the tree. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I guess.
Tumble. Take 2 points of bludgeoning, or
All
one,
right.
just 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Take 1 point of pride damage.
Right there, you
Yeah.
go.
One
I
point
will-
of bludgeoning, 2 points of pride. There you go.
Okay, so anything else you can do after that?
I will then use like my so I'll like move towards them, but I'm not gonna get like right up into the face where they can just like surround me.
Yeah.
But I will also
So they're
use
120 feet away. If you dash, you could get there in 2 turns. You could get face to face with them in 2 turns.
I'll just use my normal move action, so I only move 30 feet.
Okay,
And I'm
so
going to
it
try to
take-
tuck behind like a tree, and then I'm
Got it.
going to use my actual action to do maneuvering order.
Okay.
And so then I will point at Baruch,
Mhm.
and I'll be like, go help out them on the boule. So now next turn, you can use your reaction to basically dash.
Got
All
it.
right. What you'll hear from me is after you tumble off this elk, you'll hear Baruch as he's still stuck on his elk. He'll be like, "Little warning first."
Actually, you
Mason,
can use your reaction right now. Funnily enough, to run.
to
You
have
wanna-
him jump off.
Yeah, like
Fair.
that's what my action does. Like the
Oh,
orders.
well,
thing.
if that's the case, then yeah, I will use that.
Okay.
Quick question though.
The answer is no.
It might be because his order has been told. He gave me an order to go help the people with the boule. So
Yeah, you don't have a bonus action right now,
No.
unfortunately. Yeah, like it's just your reaction.
You can
but-
just get off the elk, Gareth,
okay,
and that's it.
okay.
All right.
So yeah, I will do that.
Roll
How
dexterity,
far?
sir.
How far away is the boule at this point?
Roll dexterity.
I'm getting there. Hang on.
Yeah, you take a point of bludgeoning pride damage too.
These elves suck.
To me, it's not bludgeoning, or to me, it's not pride. It's I bet I have received an official order at this point because I am
Fair enough.
so.
All right. So you
Jump,
are now
stick the landing
off.
or not doesn't matter.
Yeah. Mason, your turn.
Mm.
Are you consciously aware, Mason, that your elk are losing their riders?
Yeah.
Has
Okay.
Rohan got a turn?
Huh? Yeah.
Has Joe got a turn?
Yeah. Joe, his first turn was to continue. He is after
okay.
Ian.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So, Mason, you notice that the boule has not gone in for the kill on Edelbrin. It's just staying there.
Can I talk to it?
You can try.
You have talk with animals.
Yeah, do you have that?
No.
Then how the hell are you going to talk to this thing?
Druid speak. I mean, I don't know.
Give it a shot. See, can you do that with Druid speak?
I doubt it.
Well, I mean, these things are trained somehow, so it's worth a shot. Question mark.
You want to speak to it though. How are you going to do that?
As an elk. Wah.
Yeah.
No? You going to abandon that or figure it out?
I'm thinking. Hold on. Give me a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Stop
Take your
rushing brilliance.
Freaking genius, man.
Who do you pray to?
It's a good question too.
You pray to the green man.
What are the gods
Dirty
again? Because
green
I don't
man.
remember.
So the gods of Darmus are as follows. We have Relic, Artefactus, Tamaris, Vortex, who is dead, Emirial, Necrosis, Vanitas, Cerritus, Drago, his companion Fenris, You have Lox, and you have Taru. Is that right, Ian? Taru?
Taru, yeah.
Taru, perfect. Oh, and also, not necessarily a god, but a creature of the forest. Ian, what is that uh Ent's name again?
Ember Soul Falonade, I think, is what we named him.
Fallon what?
Ember Soul Fallon save. Hold on, I think it's in our messages. Falonade Ember Soul.
Fallonade Ember Soul. Got it. Okay.
Translates to falling embers of the sun.
There you go. So there, those are your options.
He's more of like a deity.
Or you could just pray and see who answers. It's always a fun one to do.
What are you doing?
I don't want to have to kill this boulet.
You think you can?
Well, I mean, you can take out the rider.
It's
Nothing
not.
says you can't kill that.
Look, let's break it down. Edelbrim is about 10 feet away from this thing. This boulet could pounce on him like that and kill him instantly, but it's not doing that. The ogre is seated on there watching you. The boulet is watching Edelbrim. They're not moving. That's the thing. They're not moving. Like the boulet isn't pawing at the ground, antsy to go and attack or anything like that. It is being held very firm in its position. The rider has complete control.
Alright, fuck this thing. I'm gonna attack it 3 different times.
Go ahead. The boulet has an armor class of 17.
Alright. First elk is gonna charge it.
Okay. What do you got? Yeah,
Nothing.
that's a big fat no. Isn't that a massive epic failure?
Yeah.
Wow, epic fail.
Yeah, that's a nat 1.
How are you doing this attack?
So, since I have the 2 elks, I was gonna have both elks slam into it, and then I was gonna charge it.
Okay, so we'll let the attack go through, but it will not succeed. Right? So the 2 elk come from one side, the boulet, and Edelbrim, you're watching this. As soon as the elk move, what's that for?
That would be the second elk.
Okay, so yeah, the first elk that comes to attack, it immediately gets pushed back to the side. The boulet just turns and hits it, and it goes skidding back about 10 feet. The second elk, it turns and hits that, the same thing as you come in, Ian or Mason, and collide with it. But the boulet does nothing. It pushes you back. It just like shoves you back like this, causing no damage to you, but moving you.
These are just the 2 little elk. I haven't attacked it.
Oh, go ahead. Well, that's
Do
what's
the
happened to
elks-
those.
Do the elks have any bonus to their attack?
And they get +3, but that 13's not gonna
Okay,
hit the
so
7.
that would put it
All
at
right.
just below armor. Okay.
So
That's
what
what I
about
was
you, Mason? You can roll intelligence if you want to kind of deduce that, but the boulet didn't actively try to hurt them. And it went and put its attention. Yeah, so something's going on here. The boulet isn't letting you leave, but it's not preventing you from escaping.
Maybe it's like a big playful dog.
Oh, I don't think so. But the
Yeah.
thing is when it came out of the ground, it knew it was going to hurt you, and it
Mm-hmm.
did on purpose. But from this point forward, though, it's mainly maintaining defense. The ogre's looking at you. The boule is looking at Edelbrim. And you can see the ogre just kind of lean forward and he says, "Run, run."
He's going to be an asshole about it. He's going to saunter over to Edelbrim.
The
Like
boule's
defensive,
starting to paw at the ground now.
like defensively, he's going to circle the boule until he's
Mhm.
close to Edelbrim.
Okay, yeah, you get right up to him.
And then I'm going to try and get Edelbrim to climb on.
Ian?
I'm obviously make a show that I'm hurting as I climb up.
Okay.
And then attempt to run.
Yep, he said to run. Is that what you're going to do, or are you going to stand there?
I guess we're going to run.
All right. As soon as you take off, within about 2 or 3 seconds, Edelbrim, give me a perception check if you're going to look behind you.
Shit.
Yeah,
5.
as soon as you turn around, that boule is gone. All right. Now, Ian, it is your turn. Mason, unless you had any other actions that you needed to do.
No.
Okay, Ian, it's your go.
I'm just gonna drink one of my health potions.
Okay.
I
Let's
forget
see.
what does a standard do.
What is it? 1d8?
1d8.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Yeah, unless you get like a greater or a
Plus no, it's just the 5, right? Not plus constitution.
Um,
Not on.
I
Yeah,
don't
just-
think health
just the 5.
potions do Constitution.
Okay, just the 5. All right, is that all you're going to do?
Actually, I'm also gonna cast. If I can get it there. There we go.
What are you doing?
So I'm gonna do my symbiotic entity. Entity.
At second level, you gain the ability to channel magic into your spores. As an action, you can expand the use of your wild shape feature to awaken those spores rather than transforming into a beast form, and you gain 4 temporary hit points. So what exactly are you doing?
Giving me a boost to my health, and then
Got it.
a boost to my melee weapon attack.
Okay. All right. All right.
So, and just as a question for either Sean or Mason, because it says that you gain 4 temporary hit points in each level that you have in this class, because I'm a level 6 druid, it's 4
Mhm.
times 6, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that
awesome.
would be 24, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means you can take a full another hit.
All
Yeah.
right. Awesome.
Needed
So
at this point.
you are preparing. So Joe, Rohan, it is up to you. What are you doing? You going to hop off that elk with everybody else, or are you going to stay with them?
No, I'm gonna hop off.
I was about to
Okay.
say, did you notice that we hopped off?
Yeah.
Roll dexterity, good sir.
All right.
Let's see if Rohan can stick the landing. Yeah.
12.
Yeah, you're good. No, what'd I say? No, 12 is good. You're fine. Yeah, you're good.
Awesome.
Little stumble here or there, but yeah, you slide on your feet. What's your action going to be? Meet up with Baruch and Lawrence, or what are you doing?
So I'm gonna make my way. There were who were the two that are running that were told to run?
That's Koch and Edelbrim.
Oh, okay. I'll make my way to the closest party to me to join up with them.
So that would be Lawrence and Baruch. Is that all you're going to do?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty. I don't have any ranged weapons.
All right. Back to me. Got some more arrows coming your way, boys.
Wait, didn't I give you a crossbow or something? Hang on, let me double check my stats here.
I don't know. Lawrence, let's go ahead and do armor class
No.
again. What do you got?
Okay, I didn't have any.
17.
17. My lord. Okay. Yeah. Arrow goes. Baruch, armor class.
What did I say? 16.
16.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a hit, good sir.
All right.
Here, so that's a 1d8 plus 1. Go ahead and take 8 points of damage. That one hit you pretty good.
All right. Which one shot me this time?
Another human. Same guy that you shot. He's like, fuck that.
Oh, I see someone that hasn't learned their lesson yet.
So 8 damage. Rohan, armor class.
13.
All right. That would also be a hit. You get hit with an arrow right in your shoulder. You take 7. And Voldiceris, you are still within range. Armor class is 13. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. And that misses.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You can hear the ground rumble again, but because of where you are at in the forest with all the trees and all that stuff, it's kind of echoing all around, so you don't exactly know where the boule is.
I'll be right back.
Okay. However, the humans and the gnolls are still attempting to close the gap. Ace, it's your turn.
Exactly how many are in this party that are chasing us?
So that would be 7. The other 3 took off after that bolt that Baruch shot in the tree. But they will be joining soon.
Yeah.
Oh.
7.
How far did that bolt travel?
Like
Stopped.
30 feet before it hit a tree trunk.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ace.
How tight knit or how close together are they?
The 7 that are pursuing are within 5 feet of each other. They're
So
close together.
So they're fairly close within pace of each other.
Oh yeah. Now they're
How-
about if you get off the elk and make it to your party, you'll be about 90 feet from them.
90 feet from them, and they're coming at a good head of steam.
They're not dashing. They're just going
They're
at
not
regular.
dashing, but
They're going at regular speed, 30 feet a turn.
30 feet a turn. So let me ask you this: if they were to do an abrupt stop, how many feet would it take them to do so?
If they were to do an abrupt stop, ask your question again.
If they were to do an abrupt, they're riding on. Are they on foot or on?
They're
steed?
on foot.
Okay, they're on foot. So
Yeah, they're
if
on
they
foot.
were to do an abrupt stop, they could do it fairly quickly.
Oh yeah.
But I'm within 90 feet of them.
Once you make it up to Baruch, Lawrence, and Rohan.
Yeah. So I will definitely dismount and make my way towards Baruch.
Okay. Do you have any
Um,
additional actions or anything like that you could do?
yeah, I'm gonna try something. Wait,
Okay.
wait. Let me ask this. One more question. So, um, never mind.
Okay.
We're just gonna try it anyway.
Okay. What are you gonna do?
We'll give it a shot. See what happens. So
What you got there, Ace?
You losing?
Oh, there we go. Okay, hang on. Let me take a look at that.
the thing I'm gonna try here is it's 150 feet range, 20
Hmm.
feet in area, spherical shape. So I'm gonna try to place it on the ground just in front of them.
So you open a gateway to the dark between the stars, a region infested with unknown horrors. A 20-foot radius sphere of blackness and bitter cold appears, centered on a point with range and lasting for the duration. This void is filled with a cacophony of soft whispers and slurping noises that can be heard up to 30 feet away. No light, magical or otherwise, can illuminate the area, and creatures fully within the area are blinded. So, 20-foot radius, you can get 4 of them, and the others will hear what's going on. The void creates a warp in the fabric of space, and the area is difficult terrain. Any creature that starts its turn in the area takes 2d6 cold damage. Any creature that ends its turn in the area must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 2d6 acid damage as a milky, otherworldly tentacle rubs against it. Damn.
Mm.
Yeah, this is one of those fun spells.
Mhm.
So let's go ahead and get the 4 out of the way first. I'm just going to roll 1 dice for the saving throw. That starts the turn
Okay.
in the area. So that'll be next, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's
Well, I
yeah
mean,
when they
if
just.
he manifests it directly in front of them with like a few feet in front of them, the sphere will encompass them.
They're going to walk into it. Yeah.
Or well, run into it at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. So Ace, is that your turn?
Yep, that's my that's they're not close enough for me to do any kind of my bonus actions. So
Gotcha. All right, Gareth, it's back to you.
All right. So I see this sphere open up in front of them, and they effectively are going to disappear from my sight, right?
No, you'll be able to see them, but they won't be able to see you.
Did you drop it on top of them, or
In front of them.
why not just drop it on top of them and kill a bunch of them?
I mean, that's what I was thinking because it's a
Well,
20
Ace,
foot sphere, so
do you want to drop it
literally just
on
drop it
them
on
or
the
put it
group.
in
I
front of them?
mean, either way works, right? Because they're actually moving. They're not running, but they're moving at a good rate of
Yeah.
speed. So if I just
Well,
drop it in front of them, they kind of walk into it, so it makes it look dumber.
fair enough.
Fair. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All
Then
right.
yeah.
So there we go. All right.
All right. So the group that was with the Boule, what
Yeah.
are they currently doing?
Mason and Ian?
No, the like you said that there was gnolls that were with the Boule, or did the Boule lead
All
them?
of the people on foot came after you guys. The Boule is the only one that went after Koch and Edelbrin.
Can I discern where the Boule is currently?
I'll let you do perception, but at a higher, like a 16, because of all the echoing and stuff underneath or all around you. Yeah, it's coming towards you
Com-
guys.
Coming towards us.
Mhm.
About how far away can I?
Can you discern that?
Well, you said it's got like that ripple
So it's off in the distance, so it'll be a little bit before it gets to you, but it is coming.
All right. In that case, I am going to. All right. Distance between me and it. What's the distance?
The distance between you and it,
Yeah, between me and the boule.
It's
Sorry,
out of
spell ranges. That's what I'm looking
it's
for.
well, it's underground. What's the length of your spell?
Depends on which one I use. That's what I'm
Well,
wondering.
why don't you tell me which one you're going to use?
Let's start with the.
What's the range?
I'll tell you what. The longest range I can use on it, I believe, is 120 feet.
It is out of range.
It is currently out of range. All right, fine.
Yes.
If I move my. Fuck it. No, we're just gonna do this. All right. How many guys?
And it's underground too, so
Well, I can do some stuff. you know?
sure.
All right. All right. The guys that are pursuing us, how many of them are there?
There are 7, soon to be 10 again.
7, soon to be 10 again. All right.
Mhm.
Of the 4 that look to be that are going to be engulfed in this orb, is one of them the dummy that shot me?
No.
Okay, good. We're going to start with him.
Okay, what are you going to do?
I'm going to return the favor.
Return fire? Ooh, yeah, that's a big nasty hit.
All right. Does that count as a crit?
No.
Damn it. All right.
I'll give it to
5
you.
to him again.
You
Just
know
say
what,
that
so-
again,
so-
Ace.
I said I'll give it to you.
There you go. Ace will give you the crit.
Well, if I have a crit, I need to know, so that's why I'm asking.
Fuck
I
it.
have-
Yeah, why not? Go ahead.
Okay, so it's a
You've
crit.
got enough malice against this guy. He's a piece of shit.
Okay, then yeah, okay. So he gets an additional on top. So
So, go ahead and tell me where you're aiming and how you want to kill this guy, because that's enough to kill him.
I picture him as he's one of the archers, got a bow.
Yeah, he's a
All
human.
right. So I figure he's drawing that bow back to get a bead on me again, and as he turns his head to the side, I'm gonna fire one, and whichever eye he's aiming down, I'm putting it straight through his eye to where the bolt sticks out the back of his head.
Done. And the arrow, he's holding it like this, thunk, and it just boom, the arrow shoots off into the night. He's out.
All right, and then I'm gonna say, Bones, you're up, and I'm gonna have my skeleton target another one,
A gnoll or a human?
human.
Okay, human armor class 14. Yeah, that's a hit.
He
Go
gets
ahead.
a +4 to hit, so that's a 19, and his is also a D6 +2, so 6.
6. Okay. Yeah, got him.
The guy standing like right next to him or
Right
something,
next to
just
What
thump,
the
thump.
hell? So there's that. All right, is that
And,
it?
I am then going to duck behind a tree.
Okay, Lawrence, you're up.
Okay, so crowd still running at us, just one dead, right?
Yeah, one's down.
How close are they to us so far?
About 90 feet at the moment.
Oh, okay, so they're
Closing
not-
in on 60.
Okay. Well then
Bonus to reload. Sorry,
That's
Keep that in
fine.
mind.
then I will probably just
We'll just call that, Gareth, as an automatic, unless
Okay.
you say otherwise.
Well, I need to keep track of it in case I need to use my bonus action. That's why
That's
I'm.
Rohan's right behind me, right? Picking up the
Yeah.
rear.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will just move 30 feet forward and I'll use my order action to allow him to immediately move 30 feet as well.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that takes place. You go forward, you're closing the gap, and Rohan, you're coming in right behind him. Right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, so we'd probably be about the same distance from them right now, I imagine.
Yeah. So about 60 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is that all you're doing?
Yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. All right. Mason, you're up.
Can I tell if I'm being chased by the boule?
Perception. I mean, with your elk ears, I'll bring it down to a 13.
Damn.
Yeah, you could be, you couldn't be. The sounds are echoing all around. All you know is that the entire party has dismounted and they're now coming to save you.
Fucking idiots.
Hey, you can still control the elks.
That's true.
Are they still running?
Yeah, because he never told them to stop. So, what do you want to do with them elk?
I'm tempted
You
to
have a-
cancel the spell and just, me and Edelbrim go off and live in the woods. You guys are both
Dumbasses, they left
jackasses.
her.
Are there any other actions that you want to do, Mason, or are you heading towards the party?
I guess I'm going to head towards the party.
Okay. All right. Ian, you're up.
I don't think there's much anything I can do at the moment. There's no enemies
The
within
next
range.
turn, you guys will be in range for long fire, if that's what you have. For a ranged attack. No more healing potions or anything like that? You're pretty solid, pretty good?
Well, could burn up another healing potion, but
You don't have to if you don't want to.
I mean, you do have, 24 temporary hit points?
Mm-hmm.
So, 50-50 shot.
yeah, I think I'll stay where I am, save my
Okay.
spells.
All right. Rohan, give me a perception check, please.
$13.
Perfect. As you're moving up through Lawrence's command, you do notice at your feet a mist starting to come in. And it's coming in from behind you.
I will turn around immediately.
When you turn around to look, you can see this wall of fog slowly starting to make its way in your direction. However, during the movement of this mist, some of it parts just enough for you to see a field of brambles not too far ahead of you.
I'm going to look around, not at the field, but kind of behind me and to the side to see if anybody's like casting a spell or something.
Not as far as you can tell.
How close am I to the party?
You're right up there with Lawrence. You're right
Oh.
on his toes.
I'm going to alert the party to who is causing this.
Lawrence?
I mean, I acknowledge it. I don't know if I can really do much else besides that.
Baruch?
I'll look and see the mist, and it's coming from the direction we were traveling towards.
Yes.
I'm gonna holler at Lawrence. I'm gonna say 50-50. We got either reinforcements or more trouble.
Voldasaris?
I'm not sure.
The voice in your head says, I've never seen that before.
Ah. Fall back a few steps behind the group that I'm with to try and gather my surroundings. And,
Perception. Give
yeah.
me a perception check. The mists part again, and you can see this wall, this section of brambles not too far away. Intelligence.
Okay.
If you go in there, you can lose them.
Nah, all right. Roll a 20. Go. Then. Yeah, I guess go in.
So you're going to go. You're not going to tell anybody else. You're just going to go.
uh, draw attention to myself and say this way.
Lawrence, Baruch, Rohan, Koch, and Edelbrim, you can hear Voldasaris pointing toward that brambles area, and he says, this way, this way.
I'll make my way there.
Okay. Baruch? Lawrence?
How close am I to Lawrence?
5 feet away.
I'm going to look at Lawrence and say, your choice. Either we fight or we go.
I do not like that boulet. What so what do I have? I don't have anything good for magic. You guys make an Arcana check to see like if I could like sort of sense out like the what kind of source of magic this might be.
Go ahead.
7. No.
It's paranormal as far as you know.
Can I do something?
What do you want to do? Koch and Edelbrim, if you want to chime in on this, you can as well, because you can now see the mist also. Detect magic. Magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can... Yeah, it's magical.
Can I see any auras or detect what school of magic it is?
Elemental.
Elemental.
Mm-hmm.
I'll grab Lawrence's shoulder and turn him towards the mist, and I'm going to say it's our best bet. Run.
I'll nod and dash.
Okay. Koch and Edelbrim, you see them running toward that mist, toward that wall of brambles.
I'll say to Koch, it looks like they know something that we don't. Let's follow them.
Guess we run to the brambles.
Fair enough. All right. So you all start to make your way toward that. As you get closer, the mist gets thicker and thicker. You can hear the arrows shoot widely now.
Can my skeleton still be returning fire?
Sure, yeah, but its ability to see is being impaired, as is the gnolls and the humans. Their ability to be impaired, or their ability to see too. You can hear the rumble from the boulet, but as you cross into the first set of brambles, the boulet comes out from the ground and skids to a stop at the wall. And
How far away is he from me?
It 10 feet, but it pursues no further.
I don't care if he's pursuing. I have something I want for him.
What are you going to do?
The orc rider
Mm-hmm.
that's on him, I am going to make his day a little warmer.
What are you going to do?
Heat
Melt
metal.
his armor?
Yeah, I'm going to heat metal on him.
Okay, he screams and starts tearing armor off and throws it to the ground.
He has a disadvantage to removing his armor.
Fair enough. He gets burns on his hands.
I am going to cook him.
Either way, you are now inside this area of brambles.
Is the damage enough to kill him?
No, God, no.
Why not?
Because I said no. He's not going to die.
I want him dead.
No. The boule motions around for a few minutes as the rest of the bandits close in. You can hear the ogre say something in ogre, and they
Screaming in
turn
pain. Yeah.
and leave.
All right. Because detect magic is still operational.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what can I see in this mist?
Mist, brambles. The brambles glow. The fog glows.
Uh,
Roll intelligence. Voldasaris, Lawrence, everybody, go ahead. Roll intelligence.
can I see like the flows of magic?
It's all over.
It's a
15.
15 for me.
So, Ian, you got a 15.
I did.
Mason, 13. Uh, Joe. Okay, Joe, not so much. Ace, barely. Mason and Ian, yes. And Sean, what'd you get?
I got 11.
Okay, that'll work. Um, well, Ace, the voice in the back of your head will cover you first. However, Ian, you're the first to realize where you are. Now, the hell is his name? Fallonsay, is that right?
Fallonade.
Fallonave Embersoul. He, when you were a young dwarf, told you the story of the mind fields. It's this wall, this collection, this large area of brambled vines and bushes. And it's one of the most mystical and rarest places on all of Darmus. It shifts spots, it never stays in the same place, and it only arrives when it determines that it needs to be there. And that is exactly where you are now. The wall of the mind fields are manipulative. They tell truths and lies, and the amount of power and magic inside here is insurmountable. You can't tell how much it is. You can't trust anything it says, but you can't not discard it either. The story that he told you was one of warning, but of awe too.
Okay. I would recalling that story.
Hold
And
that thought for just a
okay.
moment. Rohan, this is something that you would know through legend and fairy tale only. Voldasaris, the voice in the back of your head is bringing forth memories of tales of the mind field. And once it starts to figure out where they are, you can tell that the voice in your head is scared and it's never been scared before. Koch, you would know this from stories as well. Maybe even caught a glimpse of it once through mists, but you could never know to be sure. Baruch, this is something that mercenaries would have told and laughed about. Lawrence, this is also something that you would have heard in a legend or story.
Uh,
Okay,
if I heard the stories as a mercenary and it was considered a joke,
mm-hmm.
then me being here, my guy would break out in like a cold sweat because
Okay,
I've heard all kinds of stories about this place.
got it. Edelbrim, go for it.
Recalling the story that Fallonade told me, I'm gonna announce to the group: keep your wits about you, lads. Trust nothing,
You
but
already see
believe
that
everything.
Baruch's pulling weapons out and he's standing one weapon in each hand.
Edelbrim, you know those weapons will do nothing here.
I'll look at him and I'll shake my head. This is going to be a game of wits. Trust your mind. Your steel will do us no good here.
I'll say
I
I'm
have. I'll look at him and I'll say, I have one trick that may just help us, but that's if we get into a bad spot here. Let us move forward.
All right.
I'll mumble under my breath after listening to him say, "The steel does me good."
So let's go around the table. Lawrence, what is your reaction to this? What are you gonna do?
I'll sheath my sword, but keep my shield drawn. And I'll kind of, I mean, like, I don't really know much about this, so I'll defer to the two naturalists in the group.
Now, out of character, Mason, Gareth, guys, do you remember creating the card, the minefields? Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
Okay. So basically, this is a place of immense power. All right. So Lawrence, you're staying defensive. Baruch, we
Yeah.
already know what you're doing, right? Unless there's
Yeah.
anything else you want to say or do.
Once I've had a second to, grasp the fact that, what I'm seeing where I'm at, I will sheath one weapon. I'm keeping that hammer out,
Hmm.
and I am sticking closer to the group to where Lawrence is within arm's reach of me because
Okay.
he's the one I'm supposed to be protecting.
Got it.
I'm still looking around using the detect magic.
It's everywhere. Everywhere. It's not blinding, but that's all you see.
I will look to the party and sorry. Didn't mean
Detect magic again?
No, I didn't mean to hit that one. I was checking something real quick.
Half of us light up.
Yeah, I mean, all the magic users here are going to glow to some percentage. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to look to the party and say, okay, first things first. Does anybody need healing?
I do.
I'm good.
I'll look to Edelbrim. How badly do you look right now?
Oh, I'm pretty beat up.
Yeah, looks for wear.
I will walk to where everyone's within range, and I am casting Aura of Vitality.
Okay.
And so I am going to bounce the spell for as long as it lasts between all injured party members.
Target is self. Oh, you can use a bonus action to cast.
Yeah, basically I become
one
a
creature
healing
in
zone.
aura to
Yeah.
regain
Only
2d6.
need like 2 points.
Yeah, I become a healing zone. Anybody within range of me, within range of that 30-foot radius, I can just look at them, and once every 6 seconds, I can cause them to heal.
So roll 2d6 and spread it around.
All right. So first one, well, does it target? It's actually going to cause one creature in your aura to gain 2d6. So first one, I'm looking to the most injured, which would be
Edelbrim.
So Edelbrim, you are up first. Take 8.
Nice.
Okay.
I'll
And
say thank you.
I'll let you do it once more for Voldasaris and Rohan.
Voldasaris, Rohan, or
Ace, that's perfect. You get
whoever
2.
needs it. Whoever needs it most, yeah. And
Lucky day.
I'll pop myself one, and that'll be 4 turns. So I've got 2 turns left.
All right, that's it.
Is everybody
Yeah.
healed?
Yeah.
Because it lasts for.
I think so. I think you're good. Edelbrim, are you healed all the way or no?
Not all the way, but I'm doing better.
Okay, you could do the other 2 on him if you want to, and then
Okay,
we'll
well,
call that.
I took 4. Let me jump over to here real quick. And we're just going to bump me 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm okay. We'll go ahead and pop Edelbrim for the second to last one. All right.
5.
Are you topped up now?
I'm at 38 out of 45.
So one more time.
Take another
9. That'll finish it. All right, that's that. So Rohan, what are you doing?
Well, Rohan will breathe a sigh of relief. I mean, he's heard of this place, but
So
he
let me add to the myth a little more. The mist is the breath of the Krogan. If you are in the breath of the Krogan, You are being judged.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you can relay that if you want to and embellish on it also if you want.
Rohan will look to the party and say, "We are in the breath of the Krogan as we speak. He is judging us."
Edelbrim, you know that to be true. At least from the stories that you've heard.
I know that the place is magical, but not knowing what the Kragan.
Krogan.
I'll look at Rohan and I'll say the Krogan.
The Krogan is a powerful creature. From the time when the planet was firstly created, it was created as a guardian to protect the entire planet. It's something. It slumbers, but something has awoken it. And
I'll look around and I'll kind of look around and say, I hope it wasn't us.
Okay. Joe, anything more?
The Krogan is the being in this breath of the Krogan. We are going to be judged. The Krogan is so massive that when its wings spread out, it blocks out the sun. And then men have tried to hunt the Krogan and track it down, but none have ever returned.
You'll see Baruch reach up and he'll be thumbing, rubbing a pendant and thinking for a second, and then he'll just let go of the pendant and say, "Fine. If I'm to be judged, then I won't shed away." And you'll see him just straighten up taller. He said, and he'll actually reach up and throw that cowl back. And he'll say, "Go ahead, judge me."
Edelbrim, Koch?
I have no fear of being judged.
Okay. Koch, what about you?
I have no fear either.
All right. Voldasaris, what about you?
Well, I was talking.
You have been silenced.
Judged.
Could have fooled me.
Done.
Cone of silence.
Go ahead, Ace.
I have no fear in being judged. But I will say,
go ahead.
You look upon me and you think you see something. I recommend you look twice.
The voice in the back of your head says, "You may not fear this judgment, but I do." So, are you guys going to press forward?
The only thing we can do, right?
Is there a path on the ground in front of us?
There is. There is a small cleared pathway, and as you turn to look, the mist rolls away to part for that path.
I'll look to Lawrence and I'll say, "I guess someone's opening the door."
I'll look at Baruch and I will, just kind of nod my head. It's like, I guess so, and I will.
Is
march
there
onward.
is there ambient light here, or are we still
No.
in darkness?
You can see it's like a gray light, like it's dim, but you can see maybe about 10 feet in front of you before darkness takes over.
Does that affect the dark vision as well? Infravision, dark vision?
Yeah.
Baruch will actually pull out one of those torches to see if it helps at all.
It does not.
All right.
Okay.
and he'll just put it away.
As you start to move forward, Lawrence, we'll go with you. You're leading the party. I assume it is in this order: Lawrence, Baruch, Rohan, Voldesaris, Koch, and Edelbrin.
I'll actually be in front of Lawrence. That way, anything that comes from the front has to go through me first.
Okay. Well, we'll start with Lawrence, anyways. As you begin to walk through, you can hear whispers, sounds off in the distance, sounds like footprints or footsteps, soft at first, maybe like those of children or small fey type creatures. But the whispers come all around you. You hear it come right by your ear on one side, then the other. Um, but as you walk, you can start to see things form in the mists, images. One image is of Aglonia. She's seated at a table. Utar and Relic or Regal are there with her. They're laughing. They're having a good time. They're eating food. And you can see that she looks happy. She looks content. She feels safe. You can feel that from her. But then all of that is disrupted as something comes through a door, through a window, or through a wall. You can't really tell. And in the blink of an eye, you can see that Uter is now dead. Regal is severely wounded, and Agolonia is lying on the table bleeding. Looking over onto the other side, you see the exact opposite of that. The same thing is taking place. This feast between the three, and then things go on and they move and go as normal, and they all part separate ways. Up further ahead in the mists, you can see your family. You can see your mother, you can see your father, you can see your aunt, you can see relatives. In one instance, they are defending the walls of Strabo Keep and losing. And then in another instant, they are defiant. They hold their ground and they defeat Non and all of his men.
I take note of it, and I, try to steady my breath. Just following Baruch's lead. Maybe like whispering to myself a little bit, closing my eyes for a second, but just trying my best not to focus on it.
Okay. Baruch, as you walk to one side, you can see images of yourself seated with other mercenaries. The fall of Keratin Kaioplan is fresh in your minds. The city burns in the background as you guys dance and scream cries of victory over the dead Minotaur that lay before you as you chuck their bodies into a massive bonfire. On another end, you can see the exact opposite of that. You are all that's left. The entire mercenary group that you were with was completely slaughtered. You lay on the ground bleeding from massive wounds as a Minotaur stands over you, and a battle axe comes down as the image goes away. Yet another image shows you completely alone. No matter where you go, what you do, you are shunned. And people, children, run from you and they scream in terror at the sight of you. Nobody wants anything to do with you. And even in another vision, you can see the entire group, the party that you're with, and one by one they fade away into the mists until it's just you.
He'll, as he's walking, and he'll look to these images, and the fall of Keratin Kaiopolon. He'll look to that one, and he'll say, and he'll mumble under his breath, "That's not quite how it went." And then he'll look to the image of him falling in battle, and he'll say, "Yeah, that's not how that went either." For the people that are running from him, he'll say, "Another day, another choice." But the people in the party that fade away and the loss of his uh, member of his mercenary crew, he'll actually get a little emotional with the mercenary crew because he would have lost some of his friends
Mhm.
in some of those battles. So he'd like lock onto faces, and each one of those would hit him a little hard.
Well, as you lock onto those faces, you're able to catch them for the briefest of moments before a mist washes them from your vision.
And as far as the party members disappearing, um, he knows that this is not exactly in his current mindset. He knows that this is not a permanent uh,
Hmm.
position. He knows that eventually this party, he's a hired muscle, so eventually it's going to end. And
Okay.
he has already come to terms with losing this party.
Okay. All right. Rohan, as you move through, the visions come to you. One is instantly brutal and recognizable. You are the last of your village, the last of your tribe. You are being dragged, beaten, and bruised and bloodied by your hair, by Nan, out of what was your home as he casts you out into the desert. But that's where the vision changes. What you know to be true, that you made it through and you are now on this quest for revenge. Within a day of being in that desert, you succumb to your wounds and you die. But you don't go where Fenris is. Drago doesn't come to take you. Instead, Necrosis is there, and he leads you down into the path of the underworld, where you live for eternity. Another is the exact opposite of that. The village was never destroyed. Nan never came. You grew old, you married, you had children, you became the chief of your village, and it prospered. You gained alliance with the Strabos, and your clan, your tribe became a very formidable force that the Strabos used to fight with. Yet another one, with the party itself. As you move closer to one, they form and you can see them for all of a second before they move away from you. And no matter where you go, whichever one you go to, Voldaceris or Koch or Edelbrim, any of them, as you get closer to them, when you get within reach to grab them, they turn away from you.
Okay. Um, Rohan will say, legend has it that this is the time when we are being weighed as to how we will be judged. These memories, past, present, future, the breath of the Krogan is deciding if we are worthy. But no one has ever made it to tell what happens if the Krogan rests in your favor.
It's almost as if you all can hear a heavy exhale as the mists continue to roll on. The path closes for a moment, only to reopen again as you continue through. Edelbrim, as you are walking through, you can hear the sounds of very familiar footsteps alongside. And it is, say his name one more time.
Falinade.
Falinade. You can see him off to the right as he walks alongside you, almost as a protector. The little embers fall from the tops of his willow branches and light the way for but a second. You can feel the warmth, feel the joy, but then in that same instance, the mist rolls through and it almost looks like he disintegrates. The embers trail off and they go into darkness. On another one, You and Koch are together, but it's not what you would think. You are on your knees. Koch lays before you. Multiple arrows and spears are stuck in him. He's breathing his last breaths, and there's nothing that you can do to save him. No matter what spores you give him, no matter how much you try and heal him, he just continues to fade away. And even on a third, you have made your way back home. The swamps are clear, the skies are clear, and Phallice, I'm going to say it wrong every single time.
Falonade.
Falonade is there waiting for you, and alongside him, seated at the base of his trunk, is Lawrence and Baruch and Rohan and Voldaceris and Koch. They all wait for you to come home.
Edelbrim's going to be feeling massive homesickness, and though he knows that the feelings are what could be and what may have been, he knows that he's going to have to keep a closer eye on Koch now. But that's not going to stop him from shedding a tear.
Okay.
But he
And
knows
the-
that he knows he has to keep going.
Okay. And then to Koch, as you move, in one instance, it is nothing but sheer terror, sheer destruction. The entire forest is set ablaze. Uh, Animals run for their lives. They themselves are on fire as they run. And as you move through this mist, you can feel the heat. You can see the embers trickle past you as the forest continues to burn. The brambles burn before you. And up ahead, in the distance, this massive winged serpent flies up into the air and blots out the sun as its breath weapon, its fire, breathes onto the forest that you call home and continues to destroy it. Another vision comes to you of one where it's you and Edelbrim, and you have made it to his swamp. And there you can finally rest. You can finally breathe a sigh of relief and live the rest of your days, to wander, to be with that which you have made such a close friendship with, and even get to learn about the history of the world. But then there's another where it's faded, but it's slightly visible. That off in the distance, there's this little bit of light, this little bit of hope, that you can see, but it's just out of your reach. What would Koch do? He would stay silent.
Just
Did we
Mason,
lose
did you
Mason?
fall asleep?
He may have. I don't know. We'll leave it at that for now. Either way, sounded cool. And finally, to Voldaceris, um, the beads around your neck start to glow, and everybody can see them. They all can see this red pulsating set of beads lighting the way through the mist. The mist part just a bit, but then come back and surround. As the entire party turns to look at you, they see you for what you really are, this grotesque, malformed, egotistical, underground elf. And they see the truth behind you. But then in the next instant, you turn to look and you see that they all are looking straight ahead, They all are following Baruch as he leads the party down this lonesome path. The wall of brambles on either side, and the mists are as thick as ever. In yet another instance, you can see the murder and the death that was caused in your town, in your city, by one man, the man that took you in and used you and manipulated you and treated you as nothing more than a tool, than a vessel. The beatings that you took from this man, the emotional abuse, the destruction that he caused. And you know that you have him to thank for the way that you are now. And you feel proud because of that. And yet, even another vision shows the force that speaks to you on a regular basis, and it is afraid, it is scared, and it wants nothing to do with this area. It knows it has no power here, and it knows that this, the minefields, can destroy it at will.
Bolisaris, as you said, he felt moments of pride and moments of power, but yet moments of longing and remorse and also wondering why Baruch is leading this group, and to look upon the voice, it brings a slight smirk or smile to his face.
Okay. It seems like you guys walk through this thing for an endless amount of time. Uh, at moments, it feels like it's only been a few minutes. Other times, it feels like it's been hours. When finally, up ahead, Baruch, you can see the mists start to part, and there is an opening.
He'll just kind of heft the hammer just a little bit, and he'll continue forward.
Okay. All of you can hear it. It's like another, it sounds like another heavy, deep sigh. And the wind of it rushes down this pathway, exactly like the road less traveled right there. And it clears the rest of the mists out. And it is night on the other side of that opening. You can see again any infravision that people have would work. The torch illuminates the pathway, and it's forest all around you.
Is it like the forest we just originally came from?
Looks like it.
Baruch's going to look back to where we came from. Look back down the path.
It looks exactly. It's just a path. Trees surround it, canopied, and everything. It is dark past the light of the torch.
Looking up at the stars.
You can't see the stars from where you're at. The
Can't see the stars.
canopy closes it all off, but you can outside of that pathway.
All right. He'll look to Lawrence and I'll say, I guess we made it through.
I'll look around and make sure, like, can I check like the stars, see like we're going in the right direction?
You can't see them from like the canopy of trees, the branches and all that stuff pretty much block it off. It's like
Okay.
you're in a tunnel.
Well, then I guess I'll just keep moving forward, and
Okay.
I'll just kind of nod, hoping that eventually I can have like a clear section of sky I could like check the direction.
Are you going to take the lead or let Baruch continue?
I mean, do I feel like we're still in a magical place, or
Baruch, if you were to look around, all that magical aura stuff is gone.
Yeah, he'll double check.
Yeah. But Lawrence, no, you don't feel any sense of that.
I'll let Baruch take the lead just because he has dark vision.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, you
Are
can
you
see that it's dark, but you can see moonlight coming from that opening.
gotcha. Okay.
You said the path leads to a clearing.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to start heading into the clearing.
Okay. All right. So you guys walk through and you make it to the clearing and you come out of the clearing. Where you are at is this low ranged forested mountainous region. The moon is full in the sky. Are all of you going to look up? Rohan, Baruch, Lawrence, Fuldesaris, Edelbrim?
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, I'm going to scan the clearing first, and then I'll check my bearings with the stars.
Okay, so for those of you that look up, you automatically notice that instead of one moon, there are three. And the stars are nothing like what you've seen before.
Baruch's just going to kind of do a double take, and he's going to say, "That's new."
Rohan, what would you have to say about this?
Rohan will look at the three moons and the different stars, and just sort of the Krogan has. I don't know what the Krogan has done. The Krogan's breath has brought us here. Legend says that if a party or individual is of good virtue, the Krogan will take them to a place where they are needed. This could be that place.
Anybody else?
Baruch will look at the skies and look at the clearing and say, "Well, considering where we are now, I have a feeling that those pursuing us are not going to catch up anytime soon, if ever."
Is there a like can I reasonably like try to climb a tree or like tell someone to climb a tree? I'm actually not the best at climbing.
Yeah. Like where you came out on the clearing, it's not open field like it rolls down, but it's clear, right? But there's forest all around. And if you look straight ahead in the moonlight of these three moons, you can see this Victorian style castle. It looks old. It is worn down, not destroyed, but it is definitely ancient. And there's one light on in one of the towers.
Yeah, Lawrence is probably like just tepidly freaking out a little bit internally. He's just like, you know, he'll like look to Rowan. He's like, "Are you sure it's the Krogan? Like, we haven't been spirited away to some sort of unknown realm."
Legend says
I don't want to hear what the legend says. I want to know. Do you think how do we get out of here?
I believe we have to complete what the Krogan wants us to do here, and I believe that castle ahead will hold answers to why we're here. I would say we should head there, and we should receive guidance.
Okay. Let's go towards the castle. It's the only thing of note in the area. Hopefully, we can get some answers.
Is everybody in agreement with that?
I'll look. I'll look towards the castle, and I'm going to say, "Well, we're here, and it's better than sleeping outside, I guess."
Speak for yourself.
I'm
2 XP,
going.
Ian, good sir. Way to go.
I'm going to look to Edelbrand. I'm going to say, I don't know what's in these forests. Do you? I'd much rather have a stone wall and a roof.
Edelbrim, you get the sense of calm. Like seriously, it does not feel aggressive around you.
I'll look at Baruch and say, I'm perfectly content sleeping outside. Thank you very much.
As am I, but as, what else are we going to do?
Not feel claustrophobic inside a stone keep.
Hmm.
Which I might add looks like the old keeper's place, so let's just back away slowly.
Voldasaris, do you have anything to add to this before you head toward that castle?
No, I'm just continuing on.
All right. As you all start to move forward, you notice that the light that is at the top of the castle starts to work its way down. Just a single light, almost like a torch. And the closer you get, the farther down the tower that light goes until it disappears for a little bit, and then you can see it move every now and then throughout the castle proper. You go down a little ways through this little small valley as you work your way back up. There is a stone pathway that leads to this, and you can see that a road is even attached to this. Like you come onto the road for all of a minute and you come up this pathway. And as you get to the doors swing open. Now, the castle, think of it like the best way to describe it is like the castle at Disney, right? It looks like that. It's that old Victorian style castle. The towers are like the roofs of the spires and stuff like that are like a deep green. They almost blend in with the forest, but the stone itself is a deep gray. The towers are weathered. The roofs are a deep green, etc., etc. But the doors swing open as you guys come up, and that one person is holding the torch, and he comes out, an elf with long white hair and black robes. Uh, Lawrence, immediately you recognize him as Florin. And he looks and he says, "You fools." And we'll stop there.